It was a day of jubilation for Chile after there was a significant breakthrough regarding the Chilean miners. The miners who have been rescued so far said that it was like being in an underground jail. The first 12 of 33 miners trapped underground for more than 2 months in northern Chile have now been winched to the surface amid scenes of jubilation. The rescue operation began shortly after 23:15 local time, with technical expert Manuel Gonzalez being lowered down the 624-meter rescue shaft. Gonzalez was supposed to then return to the surface. However, a live video feed from the refuge where the miners were gathered showed Alvarez preparing to be witched up immediately. Florencio Avalos was first to be freed at 3:10 GMT. He was greeted by family and hugged by President Sebastián Piñera. He was followed by the only non-Chilean Bolivian national Carlos Mamani and the youngest and oldest miners. The rescue miner freed Maria Sepulveda reached the surface about an hour later. Correspondents say Sepulveda appeared in perfect physical and emotional condition. He was followed by Juan Elenes and Carlos Mamani, who kissed his waiting wife Veronica and shouted Chile. Bolivian President Evo Morales greeted Mamani and spoke to him along with Piñera. Jimmy Scans, the youngest miner at 19, came next. He had only been working at the mine for 5 months and had been showing signs of anxiety. The sixth miner freed was Osman Arwaya, 30, to a hugely emotional reunion with his wife. Seventh miner Jose Ojada was the man whose scribbled note, which read "All 33 of us are safe in the shelter," had informed the world the miners were still alive 17 days after the rockfall that trapped them. The eighth, Claudio Yanes, was met by his partner of 11 years, Cristina Nanas. They had agreed to marry during the ordeal. Alex Vega, 31, was met by his wife Jessica Salgado, who said earlier she had eased his fears over debts by telling him she had cleared them. The 11th miner to be freed, Jose Gallegos, said the journey to the top was very smooth. He said he could feel the temperatures dropping as he neared the surface. Let's now cross over to some live visuals from Chile. Now, BBC reports that after the rescued miners' reunion with relatives, the miners are being flown by helicopter to a hospital in a nearby city. Outside the hospital, barriers have been set up to cope with the crowds of onlookers and also journalists. During their journey to the surface, the miners wear a bioharness designed for astronauts, which will monitor their heart rate, breathing, temperatures, and also oxygen consumption. The operation has run smoothly so far, according to the authorities. Now, the rescue should be completed in 1.5 days, half a day quicker than predicted. These visuals that you're witnessing right now are live visuals from the San Jose mine in Chile. News First, of course, will keep you updated as and when developments do unfold. Now, reports are also coming in that Pope Benedict XVI has heaped blessings on the Chilean miners as rescue efforts continue. How did this all happen? News First takes a brief look back at the events that led to this harrowing saga on the 5th of August this year. Atacama Desert collapsed on the 5th of August 2010. A second collapse on the 7th of August hampered rescue efforts, blocking access to the lower parts of the mine. The San Jose mine, 800 kilometers north of Santiago, is mined for copper and gold. The main path or rampa reaches down to 720 meters below the surface. The collapses blocking exit routes had taken place between 400 meters and 500 meters. Rescue teams drilled a number of exploratory boreholes, sending listening probes down, knowing that despite the collapse, some ventilation shafts the miners may have survived. Emergency supplies and fresh water were sent down the boreholes to the miners after they had survived on rations for 17 days. Communications were set up and the miners told the rescue team they had access to about 1 kilometer of tunnel and had split into 3 groups to eat and sleep. Since then, rescuers have sent food, medical supplies, specialist clothing, camp beds and other equipment down the boreholes, making the miners live more comfortably. Communication with the miners has been key to morale and the rescue operation itself. Messages from relatives and supplies have been passed down the boreholes in special tubes. Amid senses of jubilation above and below ground, the Plan B drill finally broke through the miners' workshop on the 9th of October. After a video inspection of the shaft to check the rock stability, rescuers decided they only needed to encase the first 96 meters. A winch for the rescue capsules were then installed and the shaft tested before the rescue began.
We're now going for a short commercial break.
Stay connected, stay with the news first. We will be right back.
Welcome back.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa states that attention should be paid to the international market when developing local agricultural products, including rice. The president made this comment while addressing the committee meeting on food security yesterday. The meeting, which was held under the patronage of the head of state, saw the participation of many ministers and ministry officials. During the meeting, the president instructed for steps to be taken to prevent a price hike in food items such as chicken and eggs in lieu of the upcoming festive season. The president stressed on the importance of having a mechanism to provide small-scale businessmen and livestock farmers with the required facilities through the Livestock Development Board and for an importation and distribution mechanism to be in place. Furthermore, the president stated that farmers should be well informed on agricultural research since the government has provided the necessary facilities in this regard, and that he hoped for the contribution of the agriculture sector for sustainable development. According to the presidential media unit, it was revealed at the occasion that the production capacity of agricultural products such as paddy, corn and green gram increased over the past 5 years.
The new committee members of the United National Party Ex-Parliamentarians Association convened a media briefing in Colombo today. Views were expressed about party reforms at the briefing.
On the 2nd of this month, we held our general meeting. There were several proposals put forward. According to these proposals, the leader of the UNP should be elected through a secret ballot. The leader should remove himself from the position and contest the election during this period. These are the proposals that we forwarded. In 1994, our voter percentage was 42%. However, during the last 16 years, organizational activities at village level totally collapsed under the current leader. This percentage has reduced to 27% now. If this situation does not change by the next local government election, the voter base will reduce by up to 1 to 2 million. What will happen thereafter? Our generation and our children would know, but our grandchildren won't even see a United National Party. If you go to the village and ask them, 99.5% would say that the leadership is weak. Unfortunately, it is those who are from urban areas who have been UNPs for a long time who come to vote. There is no hope as long as this leader remains. Therefore, we need to change this. We need to appoint a leader through a secret ballot. They have promised to hold the annual convention in December. The leader can contest. Anyone can contest.
Meanwhile, parliamentarian Manu Shananayakara and UNP Battegam electorate organizer Ananda Lanarol expressed these views with regard to party reforms.
There are disciplinary inquiries against parliamentarians who organize themselves and raise their voices stating that the United National Party should be protected. However, UNP supporters are displeased about the fact that the party is moving on a path that protects those who destroyed the party just because they are with the leader. When there is a pressing need for a strong opposition and with that a request from the public, what is the leader doing?
එක්සත් ජාතික පාක්ෂිකයන් විදියට බොහෝමත්ම කනගාටු වෙන්නද කතා කරන්නේ එක්සත් ජාතික පාක්ෂිකයෝ.
පක්ෂ ප්‍රතිසංවිධාන වැඩපිළිවෙල ගැන දැන්
Nothing is about the party's reform process. Reforms have been suppressed by hiding behind Sarath Fonseca's incident. What is hilarious is that there are newspaper articles stating that action will be taken against people like us who stand for reform. They hold disciplinary inquiries only against us.
Editor of the Sunday leading newspaper, Frederica Jans, admitted in court today that she was aware that the information relating to the white flag incident conveyed to her by former Army Commander Sarath Fonseca was given to him by a third party. She made this statement when the case filed against the former Army Commander at the Western Province High Court was taken up for consideration today. When the case was called up before a trial at bar, the defence continued to cross-examine the editor of the Sunday leading newspaper, Frederica Jans. She noted that at the time of publishing the article, she was aware that the views expressed by Sarath Fonseca to her were based on information he had received from a third party. The journalist said that she had failed to mention this anywhere in the article. She added, however, that she had mentioned this in the last paragraph of a subsequent article written under the title Her Story. She added that even though there were several facts that needed to be verified from Sarath Fonseca prior to publishing the article Her Story, the article had been published without her knowledge. Meanwhile, Deputy Solicitor General Vasantha Navaratna Bandara requested court to carry out an investigation into the pages coming off Frederica Jans's notebook in which she had taken down notes of her interview with Sarath Fonseca. The court, however, observed that such an investigation is unnecessary. The case will be called up again tomorrow.